Hi ladies and gents, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's having a gorgeous day as usual. Now, welcome to my authentic Pandora 2013 two-tiered pink leather jewelry box review part 2. Now in part 1, I did review all the sizing of each compartment. So now I'm basically just going to show you how I am storing my two tones and my 14 karat gold pieces. Now we're going to start with the bottom layer. Now the bottom layer is pretty simple. We do have a lot of charm or jewelry compartments and one bracelet sized compartment. The little compartments, I mostly put one charm in each compartment, simply because I want to avoid any scuffing, scratching, or denting. But you can put more than one charm. You can honestly store your jewelry whichever way you want. There is no wrong way. It basically goes by preference. I did mention in part 1 that you can purchase anti-tarnish paper strips. Usually they come in a full sheet. So you can cut them down to size and you can insert them in each little compartment. And you can buy those papers on Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. Okay. So in the bracelet compartment, I do have a 7.5 bangle, and there is plenty of room between the little center pop-up and the bangle. So if you do fill your bangle 100%, then it should still fit. You shouldn't have an issue. You may have an issue if the bangle is smaller. If it is smaller, try to put it in the first layer. You can add more than one bracelet in this bracelet compartment, but if you do that, do make sure that you have something, like it could be saran wrap, it could be the sheet of a poly bag. I did cut one up so I could show you. So all I did is I just trimmed it. This is just one side. And you can simply just cut it to fit, or cut it to size. Just insert it and then put another bracelet on top. And that'll prevent scratching and scuffing and denting. Okay, now this one's not really cut to size. It was just a little quick trim that I did, just to give you an idea of what you can do. You can also do this as well with the little compartments. Now there are a few new additions that I did make, but I didn't put them in the little charm compartment, simply because I wanted to show you guys those pieces in a separate video. And in the bracelet compartment, I am also storing, because it's the only place where I can fit, is a bangle that I am going to have repaired. The bangle part was damaged, so I'm going to have to go to the jeweler's and have the two pieces put back together. But that's a video for another time. And this I usually put in here. Now, like I mentioned, the height on the right side is higher than the left. So it doesn't really matter if you have your little baggies that are overlapping. It's actually going to keep your top layer closer to leveled when you put the top tier in the jewelry box. All right, so let's move on to the top tier. Here we do have the top tier. Now in this top tier, we do have compartments for bracelets, open or closed, a ring compartment, and two rectangular compartments, which are so handy. So let's start with the open bracelet sections. Now the first bracelet is a 7.9. And as you can see, there is lots of room. Now, what I meant by your charms sitting on top of each other, I mostly meant the dangles. The dangles, there's not enough room for the dangles to lay flat if you have some on the bracelet. The second row has a 7.5, and below that one you do have a Star Wars bracelet. Now this Star Wars bracelet is an 8.3. Now that goes from end to end, and it's the max length that you can put in that section. There is one size up, I believe, from the 8.3. That you would have to kind of leave it in a snake shape or an S shape for it to fit in that section. Now, the bracelet compartment. In that, we do have a 7.5 snake chain bracelet. Now, as you can see, all the dangle charms are resting on the inside because there's no room for the dangles to sit on the outside. So they have to be pushed into the center of the bracelet, which can be an issue because you will have charms or dangles sitting on top of other dangles. Now for an example, I do have a sterling silver 7.5 bangle, and I'm just going to show you that it barely fits. You honestly would have to push it in for it to fit. And that is a 7.5 bangle, which is the average size. It's the most popular size. And it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit properly. Again, I'm not going to push it down to show you guys, but that's a little bit disappointing, to be honest. So this area, if it was a 7, just a 7, it would fit perfectly. But again, then I can't guarantee that it would fit if you actually had charms on it. So that's what I like about the snake chain, is that when it's not so firm, there's a little bit more room for it to fit. And again, like I said, with the dangles, you have to place them so that they're on the inside. So I'm just going to grab my little tool here to flip this one. There we go. And do make sure that when you're putting a snake chain bracelet in this section, that you actually stretch it round, okay? Because if for a long time you don't use your bracelet and it's put like this, then you're going to develop some kinks right here. Okay, so always make sure that it's round, or just use your fingers and just push it out. Now, the ring section. As you can see, we do have some rings. These rings are not Pandora. And the earrings are not Pandora. But I decided to put my spacers there. It's a great spot to put them, so it makes it easy to access, to take out, and to put back in. It's super easy. So if you're not a ring person, there's a lot of things that you can put in that compartment. You can put pendants. And what's really cool about this jewelry box, as I mentioned, is that there's no height restrictions, because they actually gave us a little bit, like about a 1/4 inch clearance in the lid. So go crazy. You can store your jewelry whichever way you want. Just know that you have options. Now in these little rectangular sections here and here, it's the perfect spot to put the new bag charm holder. It's perfect. And then at the first one, I did include the key that originally came with this jewelry box, just to keep it safe. This jewelry box is airtight because we do have the magnetic closure on the jewelry box. But it's always a good idea to double up on your anti-tarnish just so that you keep your jewelry cleaner for a longer time. I love it. It was a great score. I did manage to get it for $45, and I am very, very impressed with this jewelry box. If you like this video, click like. If you wish to subscribe, I would love it. And if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks and have a great day.